Wow, what a powerful couple of months this has been. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Meredith Alexander, and I specialize in training high-level professionals and entrepreneurs to really create even more massive levels of success, even in areas that might have seemed impossible. And clearly, the last couple of months, the theme has been reinventing yourself, or when is it no longer possible to reinvent yourself, I guess, is kind of the mindset that a lot of people have been coming to me with. And so many people have had such fear around this topic. And clearly I have lived it in my own life. My most favorite occupation, other than being the best version of myself, my most favorite occupation, profession, industry, whatever you want to call it, really emerged full steam when I was 56, 57 years old. And in a way it was reinventing myself, but in another way it was finally discovering who I truly have the potential to be. Tony Robbins says that sometimes trauma or not getting your goals per se, or having life drop a boulder on you, not getting your goals can actually lead to you finding your destiny, right? And that's what reinvention in its best format ultimately has the potential to be. So I wrote down today just 3 things for you to think about that I found is really the common denominator of successfully reinventing yourself. And the first one is clarity. It's absolutely essential that you step back, take a deep breath, put your shoulders back, and take a moment to really map out where you truly are. It's a huge, really important exercise that I do with absolutely every one of my clients. And it's really identifying with clarity, again, not what doesn't exist, but what does exist. What is your mission? What are you really passionate about? What do you love either doing? But passions can also be ideas. It can be concepts. It can be beliefs. Right? So what are you passionate about? And then what are your skills? What is your genius zone? What is your training? And again, it's not simply your organizational skills. It can be your skills for listening. I can really hear people. I can hear the essence, the core of what people are trying to communicate. So really understanding what are your gifts, what do you really excel doing, what are your strengths, and what do you love doing while you're doing them. So what are your skills, right? And then what are your experiences, and not just your job experience. What are the experiences that have crafted who you are? And some of these are going to be magnificent experiences. Some of these are going to be having read this incredible book that changed your life, having been to a performance, seen someone on stage, seen an athlete achieve something that suddenly that ignited something within you. It can be something also that maybe was a very painful experience, and yet it very clearly identified what you did not want in your life no more. Right? So what are the experiences that sculpted who you are? Gain clarity around those. What are your must-haves? And what are your wouldn't it be nice ifs? And from those, what are your goals? What do you want to have experienced? What do you want to have? What growth do you want to have seen? And what sort of contributions do you have made? So clarity is really the first step. It's the GPS. When it says the GPS needs to access your current location, absolutely. Even the best GPS can't get you to San Francisco from New York if it doesn't know where you're starting from, right? And then the second is be willing to reboot some of your current habits, patterns, definitions, and blueprints. Because often when we're unhappy, it's simply that what is showing up, what is not matching what we believe it should look like. So success, we often, without even realizing it, we have a very specific box that or many boxes that need to be checked off in order to say, okay, yes, we've reached success. And sometimes when that boulder drops and we feel like we're powerless to get those boxes checked, that can really lead us onto a downward spiral. So when you're reinventing yourself, it means really being willing to take a look at those blueprints and those habits and those must-haves and really evaluate and assess and find out if they're actually valid, if you might be able to get to that big goal, maybe a different way. Maybe it's going to show up looking dramatically different than you're demanding that it looks. So be willing to reboot is really critical. And then finally, tenaciously be willing to pursue your vision, your joy, and a version of your life that might seem impossible, right? It's that tenacity, that discipline, that saying, I will never give up. I will never say that there is a limit to my potential. I will never say that there is a limit to my age. I will never say that there is a limit to anything as that of who I can be and the way I define myself. I am unstoppable, but it requires courage, and it requires, again, discipline. It requires sometimes doing it when it feels unfamiliar. In other words, when you have fear, it's realizing that fear is simply asking you to make sure that you're prepared. And when you're prepared and something is unfamiliar, that's all it is. It's just a feeling of unfamiliarity. And the more you do it, practice, right, makes it easier. Practice makes it more familiar. And so clarity, being willing to reboot, tenaciously being willing to pursue an even bigger, bolder version of yourself is all part of that final end result of being able to reinvent yourself into something that is going to take your breath away in unimaginable ways. So I'm Meredith Alexander. I hope this has helped, and go out there and create that magnificent masterpiece of your life, and surprise yourself and surprise those around you, and live, love, and give generously. And what an amazing planet we live on. So hope you have a magnificent day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.